Do, 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 do. Do. Okay. Hey, 255. Sometimes reality is too complex for visual perception. Physicists state that the handful of dimensions you perceive are only a portion of those that constitute space-time. What the true nature of reality looks like, what existed before the Big Bang rocketed the universe into existence, these are unanswerable questions. But imagination embodies the dark unknown in myth. Out of this unknowable haze, a world emerges wrapped in familiar forms. Your mind transforms the wisps of preternatural smoke into bodies and steel and concrete. Your experience reshapes the world and makes this form eternal. You give it a name. You call it the constant. Interesting. Ooh. I like the abstractness of the opening. I like the music. The Hopper. Okay. Oh, all right. Oh, do we not like the cops? Cool. I like you already. Constant Club. No money. Feeling hungry. Oh, I sell watches. Okay. That's why I don't like the cops. Explains that. Hello, shapely form. You look like a slender watch type to me. Wonder how much money I need. Let's go for this. What the hell? Oh. Oof. Okay. I see you, Jennifer. Hey, Scuzzbopper. Whoa. Hello. Some shapely hair. And Pixar mom style booty. Ah, interesting, Ms. Wicked Wolf. Whoa, whoa! What the? Whoa! What? Okay. Miss Mass and the Divine Giant say, what? She's certainly, there certainly is a mass involved here. Mass of hair, mass of, moving on. Oh, shit. Oh, like the cursor bumps stuff. Whoa. That's interesting. Okay. So the selling watches thing seems to be heavily thematic for this guy. It wasn't just like a random thing. What do we got here? The Constant Chronicle. An article on the stalled construction. I don't have anybody to call, so I guess I'll just put that down. Oh! 980-6650. All right. 9 8 0 6 6 5 0. Who does that put me through to? Whoa! I love the music. And the visual sensibilities are very cool. That is unfortunate, 255, and frustrating. Huh. What the? Whoa! Okay. Whoa! Okay, jeez. There's a lot happening. Hey, Tarand. Whoa. Oh. Okay. A flask for numbing, good for losing track of time. Whoa. No, it's not the same thing at all, 255, and it really frustrates me when people equate the two. Casing shell from a Big Bang. I'm sure that's not something to read into. Okay. Okay. The Big Bang began as a sphere of unfathomable heat and density, uniform and perfect. This humble volume contained all the energy which would become our universe, but in time imperfection began to appear. After 10 to the negative 37 power seconds, minuscule fluctuations in the density of this energy formed, and the surface of creation, no longer perfectly sterile, is now rough like fertile soil. These imperfections in energy became the seeds from which stars and galaxy and the very structure of the universe would grow. Hey there, Robin. Seeding. Huh. What's that? Whoa. All very abstract, this. Do I have an inventory? I don't know. Why can't I move? Why can't I move? Oh. Oh, okay. I had to look at what's in my hand. A white seed that feeds on light rays. Okay. So if I put it... Ah, okay. Okay. Oh, all right. Whoa. Oh, is there anything over there? No, not really. Doesn't look like. Hey, friend. Hello? Hey. Black seas that consume dark energy, so I would think... Yep. Okay. So wait, do I not get to keep the white seeds anymore? Does it, like, just switch back and forth? Depending on what I picked up last? So I guess I don't have an inventory. Oh, maybe I do. I feel like I've heard this premise 255. Can't remember if you told it to me or if somebody else did. She loves me, she loves me not. 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 I've only gotten through the first episode so far today. Jennifer, I haven't gotten to all of it as yet. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Is there anything over there? Should I use a white seed to get over there? I don't think so. Huh. I can't get up there yet. Okay. Not that I recall, Miss Wicked Wolf. Yeah, the release format is odd, Jennifer. I'm not entirely sure why they went with it. Like, to be fair, the first season did release its first 3 episodes in one block, but I kind of understood that because, like, that was, like, you kind of got a full chapter that way, and otherwise you might have been left wondering, where is this going? And it kind of gave you a good indication of where it was going in that first week, but then they paced it out after that. Oh. Huh. Huh. What am I doing? Ah. Okay. Oh, you okay there, buddy? More white seeds. So he had some comments on Lazarus anime. I mentioned a few of them were like, it's good, but it's not another Cowboy Bebop. Like, okay, first of all, like, just that nature of like, well, it's not as good as this. Like, if it's good, then enjoy it. Like, I don't understand that. Of course, general responses from broad fandoms at this point just tick me off more often than not. Okay. I mean, I appreciate that they went in with a plan to only do two and a plan for what those 2 seasons would be, and they appear to be sticking to it. Well, I mean, you say original plan was 5, like there was I think that was what Disney wanted out of it was 5. My understanding is Tony Gilroy said from the start, no, 2. Like I don't need that much and I don't want that much. But then again, I haven't looked into the production end of it in a while. Or like I said, I've only done the first of 3 episodes. It was solid. It was a good start. There's some specific moments I was very like, oh yeah, that's good stuff. But you know, first episodes, especially for serialized stuff, are hard to sink too much weight into. They can still be done better than others, and I will still get on people's case. Like, you can't judge it at all after the first episode. No, I can't judge the entire thing, maybe, but I can judge what you've given me. But anyway, get off my horse about that. I've been dealing with too much nonsense in the comments, and not just like transphobic nonsense, just like a lot of either bad faith criticism, misreadings of what I've been saying, or just people with zero media literacy. And I'm really losing my patience on it. I mean, I'm not even sure I'd call that a Cowboy Bebop thing. I mean, like, Cowboy Bebop did do that 255, but, like, anime protagonists skew young. Like, annoyingly so, at least in my opinion. I think the bigger concern at this point would be that they'd cancel it, Jennifer. But yeah, that's potential. Oh. Whoa. Okay. Okay. I don't know what it is I'm doing. Oh. Oh, there we go. Okay. Hey, Gozer. Good to see you. Speaking of comments, I thought you were very patient with the guy, so I asked you what appears Morgan. Ugh. Yeah. I was probably more patient with him than I should have been. But yeah. I am increasingly lacking in patience for, like, some days I can handle it, some days I can't. Today I'm in a just go away mode for a lot of this stuff. Oh. Okay. Why won't it keep going? Oh. Okay. I'm done mode. Yeah. This broke me. The dot over the I. That broke me. I'm done. It's not so much tricky Gozer as it is abstract. Like there isn't currently at least a core set of mechanics, and it just kind of keeps changing up, and I only kind of understand what it is I'm doing. Oh. That's new. Okay. Used to be a mod for administrator. This one time there was this guy in chat constantly trying to get her to notice and argue with him. She likes to do Q&As in the last 10 minutes of every stream. I deliberately ignore him until right before the Q&A and gave him a 10-minute timeout. It was very satisfying. Nicely done. Okay. I can't move. Ah. Whoa! Huh. A watch spring with untapped potential, a familiar shape that requires further examination. Okay. Whoa. Okay, if it makes sense to you, buddy, that's great. Okay. Plan for how to save a god. Unfinished mechanism for assembling black holes. A golden touch is missing. The first confrontation. Collection of notes, theories, and plans to feed a black hole. Talented, vain, murderer. Big Bang, an album foreshadows destruction. Flyer promoting Miss Mass's favorite players. Portrait of gamblers about to lose it all. Huh. Okay. Yeah, if I look at one, it shows me the whole thing. Okay, how do I get out of this screen? Okay. Oh, so there's a black hole at the center of that. Huh. Whoa, okay. Huh. 380,000 years after the Big Bang, the universe is like a smoke-filled chamber from which light cannot escape. The stars had not yet arrived, and a haze of hydrogen would smother all light until their appearance. For hundreds of millions of years, the pressure of gravity condensed the first star from this cloud of hydrogen and ignited a fire across the whole universe. Memories of the Dark Age, however, linger to this day, for at the heart of every gas giant lives a failed star. Huh. Fresh embers still fragrant. I see you failed, Jennifer. I think it's going for a certain amount of poetic license here, 255. Matchbook from the hopper, a diner with good coffee and bad eggs. A single match is missing. Good times, bad food. Whoa. Okay. I know 255. Golden boy. Okay. Whoa. Her hips are wider than her shoulders. Hot damn. Okay. Oh, interesting. I was checking to see if there was an album release for the music. There is. I might look into that. Two extreme ends of horror at the time. One, completely up its own ass. The other, absolutely dirt cheap attempt to make a buck off a title alone. Both pretty bad movies. Bleh. Whoa. Huh. The first one? No. First one's boring as hell. Smelling of an extinguished ego. It's tightly wound and recently put out a piece of evidence to be filed. the classic infinite pockets of the adventure game protagonist. Huh. Friday the 13th as a franchise, like, have they, did they ever sort out the copyright and IP owner nonsense with that franchise? Because last I checked, that was still completely buggered. Oh, hello. Hello? Light reflected upon a pool, volcanic rock, now dark and cold, incubated organic molecules as they sloshed with the tide. Hydrophilic lipids clumped together, forming self-assembling bilayer walls. Enclosure gave rise to single-celled organisms, which soon began to endlessly recreate their own image. The water filled with life, consuming itself, vainly reproducing itself. Larger and larger, life would explode as sexual reproduction birthed seemingly endless variety. Hey, We're good at that. Bow chicka wow wow. What could imbue inert carbon, hydrogen, and nitrogen with desire? A phenomenon called abiogenesis, which is not yet understood. All that is known is that in that pool, life began. I don't find that a particularly interesting preferential question to ponder, Ms. Wicked Wolf. Forgive me for skipping it. Familiar golden ring discarded. Talking about dirt cheap horror movies I showed. The original Evil Dead, to film recently, she was understandably super grossed out. But you'll have like 10 minutes at the farewell to arms gag. It's a pretty solid gag. A tie loosened and brusquely tossed aside brings back vivid memories of the past. Seem to drink a lot, buddy. What I told you about that voice actor earlier, do you think the fact that the anime dub industry is like 20 people who do everything an excuse for not getting a trans woman? No. No, I don't. I mean, like, I think the fact that that it's set up like that in the first place is already a problem. But, like, no. Yeah, I may be pushing daisies. Ah. Ornate flask, dented and unloved. Yeah, the first Evil Dead, it was very much an exercise in what's the grossest stuff that we can pull off with no budget. I have not seen either one in their entirety, Ms. Wicked Wolf, and I don't particularly enjoy, like, this, oh, what do you like more, this or this? I don't enjoy that. Like, I don't enjoy pondering those questions because my brain 9 times out of 10 is going to go, I wouldn't compare those two anyway. They're doing completely different things. So, elegant lapel flower that could be tossed to a fan or hurled at a heckler. Well, in that case, I like the second one myself. When it comes to Evil Dead. I like Army of Darkness too. I tried to watch the TV show. Didn't super enjoy it. I didn't really like the remake. Evil Dead Rise was pretty good though. See, I almost kind of would like us to have that kind of thing over here, Gozer, if for no other reason than to show those jackasses who think that somebody like me going, this movie's problematic and shout censorship could understand what actual censorship is. Completely different energy, Ms. Wicked Wolf. I don't agree with that. I don't know if this story is actually true. It might be apocryphal, but there was a release of Texas Chainsaw Massacre somewhere. It might have been in the U.S., but somewhere where like they were insisting it be cut for not usually Ms. Wicked Wolf. If they were gonna get it, they usually just go unrated. There was like somewhere where they wanted cuts like this movie's too violent, and Toby Hooper said, okay, tell me exactly what parts to cut, what parts are over the line. And when they combed through the movie, they realized while the movie is not nothing, like its worst stuff is off screen and or implied. So there's lots of stuff that people come away from Texas Chainsaw Massacre feeling that they have seen, but they actually haven't. There we go. Yeah, ditto, Gozer. Oh. Hey! Oh, we're starting to look like atoms or something here. Yeah, I can't imagine that went over to grade 255, or at least I would hope not. Oh, hello. There we go. It went three-dimensional on me and I hadn't realized. One of the greatest teaser trailers that is better than the actual film is Texas Chainsaw 3. Oh, the lady throwing Leatherface's chainsaw. Okay, that's kind of great. And there are many trailers that are better than their final movie. Actually, many, I'm not going to say most, but many bad movies have good trailers. Suicide Squad leaps to mind. Whoa. Okay. Whoa. Second Suicide Squad was a better movie. Oh, yeah, by a lot. Thunderbolts is getting early praise. I mean, I'll probably try and check it out. I'm annoyed. I actually really want to see Sinners, and it's not playing. Like, the closest theater playing it to me is nearly an hour drive. And while I might be able to carve out 2 hours to watch the movie, I cannot carve out an additional 2 hours of travel time on top of that. That's a shame, Izzy. You know, it's a really weird trailer to go back to and watch. Braveheart, Gladiator, and Lord of the Rings hadn't come out yet, so they didn't know how to do a set piece epic trailer. I'm interested in seeing Sinners, but I don't think my mom wants to see horror movies right now. I mean, fair. I think it looks neat, though. Slasher is a subgenre of horror, Ms. Wicked Wolf. See, waiting for streaming isn't as much of a certainty as it used to be. I refuse to subscribe to frickin' everything, so there's plenty of stuff I still haven't seen. Yeah, usually the only wild card in most slasher trailers is whether you're dealing with a human killer or a supernatural one. Jason uses many things. He uses a machete, he uses an axe, he's used a pitchfork, he's used his bare fists. The machete's the iconic one. Oh, he's shot people with bows and arrows. Jason will use whatever is on hand. Now, the machete's what he tends to carry with him. So that's the typical one, but he'll use whatever's handy. Sponge, passive observer. Coral, not one organism, but many inhabiting one form. Trilobite, invasive predator, really. Tarnished saxophone. Its dingy body reflects little light. The trail has gone dark. Does the slasher genre glamorize serial killers? I would argue no, but like I know some people might make a different argument, and I wouldn't automatically say that they're full of crap. Thank you for the super chat, Dharma. Much appreciated. Like slasher films appeal to that, kind of visceral part of some people's brain that just likes gore. And to say that they glamorize it, like, I understand that it might look that way based off the fact that the killers, especially if they're recurring, are the ones who are famous, never the survivors, which is at least reflective of real life. Like, I mean, you certainly can't prove that it's in any way that is encouraging of behavior. And, like, real life serial killers have not really, or at least the ones that have gotten any kind of sympathy or attention, be it from individuals or the masses, it tends to have nothing to do with like the general thoughts of the public, which is the kind of thing that gets swayed by slasher movies. I think audiences get enough of the difference. Like this ain't it. Like this is not reality. And like also those movies are so dingy just by their nature. I feel like glamorize is a weird word to use in terms of anything they do, to be completely honest. Did you prefer very strong Jason from the early films or immortal zombie Jason from the six onwards? Well, like I haven't seen that many entries in the franchise, if I'm being honest. But from what I have seen, I like Zombie Jason better. Like that was the point where the series just basically owned it. Like we are not even gonna pretend any of this is reality anymore. And I will. Jason X is one of the best, if not the best, in the entire franchise. The remake was actually shockingly not bad either. As the pull of gravity clawed together clouds of interstellar atoms, tremendous pressure builds and a fire is ignited. The star is born in a halo of dust, its belly full of hydrogen, helium, and lithium. Inside, fusion digests this initial meal into progressively larger, heavier, and more complex elements. Growing larger and heavier with iron, the star finally collapses and bursts into a supernova, unleashing a wind of rare, heavy elements in its dying breath. Maybe I should have said valorize. I'm not sure it does that either. Like, it does. Pretty much all of them do still end with them being defeated. I mean, you know, barring the obligatory last minute scare where it's like, oh, they're not really dead. But yeah, I still don't think I'd say they do. Like it's a penny dreadful. That slashers are modern day penny dreadfuls. I vaguely remember Jason getting owned by a telekinetic teenager. Yeah, they basically wanted to do Jason versus Carrie, but you know they didn't have the rights, so they kind of faked it. Oh dear. Ah. Hunt. Well, Scream. I feel like calling Scream a satire is an overstatement. It was critical of its own genre, but it was still a sincere entry in it. Dear poop. The voluptuous curves carved into stone brings back vivid memories of the past. Ah! The fertile goddess statue. Loves me a fertile goddess. Huh. What does that mean? And a second. Okay. Hopefully that helps. I closed a few of the background programs I had going. The Iceman cometh for. You're going to need to give the Iceman a few more minutes and a little hydration before he's going to be able to cometh again. Primitive figures painted on a stretched skin. Oh, dear. In space, no one can hear you scream. Oof. So it goes. Not as many as you'd think, Jennifer. Like, a surprising amount, but given, like, the cliche is ending up in space. Like, there's only a handful. Jason ended up in space. Leprechaun ended up in space. Critters ended up in space, but that one feels like a cheat because the monsters in that are aliens in the first place, so it already had a space connection. Hellraiser went to space. I think that's it for major franchises that started Earthbound. Yeah, I like Dog Soldiers a lot. Aliens. Invaders, possibly from space. See, I need to rewatch the first Ginger Snaps because my memory is that the first movie is the weakest of the trilogy. Pretty sure they kept his bills paid for a while, so bless the Leprechaun movies for that alone. Chucky needs to go to space. Given some of the turns that franchise has taken, I'm almost sort of surprised he hasn't, honestly. $9.5 billion years after the Big Bang, and the ashes of an ancient stellar explosion begin gathering in a single point. The crush of gravity compacted these remnants so tightly together that they united into a newborn star orbited by a halo of dust and gravel. Around the star, asteroids collided. Ever larger clumps of inanimate rock were formed, and this protoplanetary disk would slowly gather into 8 planets. Over the next 4.5 billion years, these planets spun silently in the void. For 99.998983% of the universe's age, the only histories written were in the strata of lonely geology. But this quiet would not last. You know, if after I play this game, if I try and review it, I am going to have the damnedest time trying to explain what this game is. Piece of golden shrapnel, remnants of a supernova. A rock recently fragmented into a sharp point, not accidental. Yeah, that's one of the few alien movies I haven't seen. 255. I heard it was fucking terrible. Don't you mean leather space, Miss Wigglewolf? Bennett's Scaries. Oh, goodness. Gather. Because last time it was hunt, now we're gathering. And next we'll be farming. Leather Space sounds like a corn movie. I have been taking notes for this discussion for future captions for updates to a certain site that I'm on. You can fleece a sheep many times, but only skin it once. Rock lobster. Hope Alien Earth is good. I do. The only reason I have any hope in it is the showrunner is really talented and likes to do weird, which I think is the only way I will possibly care about that. Smashed pottery, evidence of pillage. Apparently, viewing on that movie has gone up since the Pope's death ahead of the calling of a conclave gozer, which I can't help but find a little bit funny. I still haven't seen it. I heard it's good. I didn't do it. Fragments of a divine statue recently toppled. Hello. Whoa. Do you have your thing set to live chat or top chat, Dharma? Mike Myers being stabbed by Michael Myers probably plays something like, ow, you stabbed me, a-hole. Oh, we doing Pompeii now? Staff with two figures spiraling inwards. All of their artifacts are buried beneath rubble. Always wanted to do an alien. Wanted them to do an alien movie where it incubates inside a large bird, an ostrich. So you got a dinosaur xenomorph. The spin-off media always did a lot more with the idea that the form of the incubating species affects the final form. The movies have done very little with that. Like, Alien 3 did a tiny bit with it. The comics did a lot with it, as did the toy line, but Jurassic aliens, that sounds ridiculously awesome. Winter winds blow as the Earth teeters in its orbit around the sun. 23.5 degrees of axial tilt result in a planet that bows in defense of its deference to its star, frosting the distant hemisphere with deep snowbanks and icy streams. But in time, each hemisphere will lean towards the sun. Radiant heat will warm one hemisphere as the other exhales frozen breaths. Without the decay of autumn or the dying off in winter, there would be no hopeful budding in the spring, nor flowering of summer. The rare Earth hypothesis proposes that evolution cannot happen without such environmental hardships. The axial tilt that incites the seasons, the tectonic plates that crash together, and other cyclical forces of the planet drive life to thrive through resilience and rebirth. Huh. I remember there was one comic where there was like an alien whale. It's a medieval church in the UK with a xenomorph gargoyle because of sculpture. Because sculpture snuck in during restoration work. I think I'd heard about that. Well, Alien versus Predator was an entire line of comics for a long time. And in the comics, Batman has fought the Predator, Judge Dredd has fought the Predator. Thaw. I'm pretty sure there's others as well, but those are the big ones that I can recall. It looks like Okami all of a sudden. I don't remember if that was a thing, Gozer. I know Batman met Spawn once. I've only done the first of Andor so far. It's okay, 255. It's not a crime to accidentally quote Family Guy. Yeah, the Mask comic is really strange. And really violent. Yeah, we definitely don't need to talk anymore about Dave Sim. See, I really only knew Cerebus from the crossover that he did with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Well, it is kind of funny to think, Jennifer, back in the day where it was fairly common to adapt a comic book literally nobody had heard of. And as a result, you could do almost anything you wanted with it. They did that with The Mask. They did that with Men in Black. Whereas now, even if it's an obscure comic, you're expected to stay very true to the source material. Don't disrespect the fans. Blah, 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 blah. I think the Loki thing is from the movie. I don't think that was in the original comics. Yeah, Mystery Men, that's another one. And they cut Carrot Head. How dare they? Fragments of once precious possessions taken in lieu of unpaid taxes. Ooh. Why am I as faded as I am? Poetic words, a distraction from work. Yeah, I know. I know, Dharma. Defense of fans, the reason you get upset about that is it prevents more faithful adaptations from getting made. Like, with some properties, I get that, but Did anyone think there was going to be a second adaptation of The Mask? Or a second adaptation of Men in Black? Like, yes, these things got sequels, but that's not the same thing. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. What? Who got assassinified? You got assassinified. The fuck? What? Flaming Carrot, that's what his name was. You one-up me there on the geekometer, Jennifer. Props. Yeah, Honest Trailers put out their take on Mystery Men recently, and they pointed out with the bowler that she's fingering her dad. Oh, yes, the repair with gold thing. I always like that as an idea. Not to hide the damage or hide the scars, but to highlight them as a thing of beauty. Yeah, come on. Why won't it stay? Oh, do I have to do it in order? Oh, wait. Oh, chunk in the back, that's why. Not really comics, but my favorite reference for that is I think the How to Train Your Dragon book is really good and deserves a faithful adaptation, but you can't ever get one because now the name is more associated with the films, nothing to do and almost nothing to do with the books. I can appreciate being in that position as fans. Like I understand. It's hard for me to fully get on board if it's not a fandom that I actually know, but like as a premise, I get it. Flaming Carrot got his own title for a hot milk. Okay. Somebody tell me if I am out of my mind. Wasn't there a comic called Milk and Cheese? It was about like these anthropomorphic embodiments of milk and cheese. Am I out of my mind? Savage Dragon was not a bad comic. It was like it. There were moments that were just real good. Like it was kind of up and down, but it could be very good. Huh. Milk and cheese was a thing. Milk and cheese. Dairy products gone bad. Oh, cripes. It was a thing. Oh, jeez. The 90s, man. 80s and 90s independent comics. They are a whole thing. No, that comic never existed. Also, what is natology? I see what you did there, 255. All right. I might I might run a little bit long because I think we're almost done. I've said that before and been very wrong, but let's see. I only ever saw bits and pieces. Wasn't really my cup of tea. Radio waves from the Big Bang echo all across the universe, and recorded in their vibration is a moment of collaboration. Electrons and protons, once heated rivals, cooled enough to come together in harmony. Their union created the first elements of the song that sings in the background of the cosmos to this day. This phenomenon, called the cosmic background radiation, allows scientists to listen to the movements of the Big Bang and compose a timeline of the birth of the universe. Well, one of them is Who Framed Roger Rabbit. What's the other one, Rowan? Oh, a fish called Wanda. I don't know. They're both really good. Improvisation. Tell you what 90s comic I do love, and I know I've talked about it before, but I love the Max, and the animated series is even better than the comic because some of the ideas from the comic work better in animation. Do you remember last week I joked about them doing a sequel to Love and Monsters? If they actually did that, would they have to pay Channel Pup to use the Absorbable off again? I don't know, because I don't know if he was ever paid in the first place. It was the result of a contest. So I think Doctor Who just owns it outright. But I don't know. You'd have to ask him. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Sorry. I don't think it's supposed to be anything that specific, Ms. Wicked Wolf. I have. It's not as good. I mean, it's okay, but... Hey, buddy. Jazz straight from WGLD Radio. Oh, hello. Time kills all men. Oh, jeez. No. One, two, four. No. Damn it. Okay. I like standing base. I always have. That is impressive, Rowan. Oh. Yeah, no, you drink too much, my dude. I see what you did there, Dharma. What the... Riddled with bullet holes. Into the infinite pockets with you. Oh, no. All right. I thought that might have been the last one. I guess not. All right. This is going to run longer than I intended to. So we are actually going to wrap it up there. So I've got other stuff I've got to do. But thank you for joining me on this weird little trip. There should be Ms. Wicked Wolf. But yeah, this is an interesting game. I do want to finish it. I think my suspicion is there's very little left, so I'm debating whether to try and finish it on stream or just finish it in my own time, because I think if I try and wrap it up on stream with this, I'm going to have to switch to something else. I might do that anyway. I don't know. There's too much stuff going on. So, review for the second episode of Last of Us is up here in the break room already. Tomorrow should be Quill and Sword. Friday, I'll be back here streaming again. I guess I'll finish streaming this Saturday's video, which I'm going to try and edit today and have an early access by the end of the day, is about the BS going on in the UK. So, specifically in regards to trans people and the Supreme Court ruling. Nice, fun, light topic for everybody. But that'll be tomorrow's video on the main channel. In the meantime, take care of yourselves. Be well. Be safe and be kind. See ya.